10-minute dramatic and intense cinematic video, Gerkshires hook. You've spent hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on your emergency food supply. But what if I told you that a huge portion of it is a ticking time bomb, just waiting to spoil long before you ever need it? It's true. A lot of the most popular prepper foods, the ones you see recommended everywhere, are some of the worst things you can possibly stockpile. Today, we're going to stop you from wasting another dollar. Here are 9 prepper foods you need to stop buying right now. Introduction. Welcome, fellow preppers. In our world, we're all about having the right gear, the right skills, and the right plan. But the absolute cornerstone of any long-term survival strategy is a food supply you can count on. The problem? So much of the advice out there is just plain wrong. It guides you to buy foods that have a shockingly short shelf life, foods that will turn rancid, lose their nutrients, or get infested with pests. When you're stocking up, you're not just buying food, you're buying peace of mind. But if that food goes bad, you haven't just wasted your hard-earned money, you've built your safety plan on a foundation of lies. And that false sense of security can be deadly in a real crisis. So today, we're going to clear up the confusion. I'm going to walk you through 9 popular but perishable staples that are probably in your pantry right now. For each one, I'll explain exactly why it's a terrible choice for long-term storage and give you a smarter, more stable alternative. This is about building a food supply that will actually be there when you need it most. Let's dig in. Section 1. Brown rice. The first mistake I see all the time, and it's a big one, is stockpiling brown rice. I get it. On the surface, it makes sense. It's marketed as the healthier choice over white rice with more fiber and nutrients. But here's the dirty little secret. That healthiness is its downfall for long-term storage. Brown rice is a whole grain, meaning it still has its bran and germ. That's where all the oils are, and those oils are the sworn enemy of shelf life. Over time, those oils oxidize, and the rice goes rancid. You'll know it when you smell it. It will have a nasty chemical-like odor. So how fast does this happen? In a normal pantry, you might only get about 6 months out of it. If you store it perfectly, maybe you can stretch that to a year. But it's a huge gamble. Eating rancid food isn't just gross. It can make you sick, which is the last thing you want in a crisis. The solution is wonderfully simple. Stick with white rice. White rice has had the bran and germ milled off, removing the oils that cause it to spoil. When packaged correctly, in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers and stored in a cool, dark place, white rice can last an incredible 20 to 30 years. It's one of the cheapest and most reliable calorie sources you can possibly store. Don't sacrifice decades of shelf life for a few extra nutrients you can easily get elsewhere in your preps. Section 2. Whole wheat flour. Next on the chopping block is another healthy food that will betray you. Whole wheat flour. Just like brown rice, the logic seems solid. It's more nutritious than white flour, packed with vitamins and fiber because it uses the whole wheat kernel. And just like brown rice, that's exactly where it all goes wrong. The wheat germ is full of oil. That oil goes rancid, fast. At room temperature, you can expect whole wheat flour to start turning in as little as 3 months. You can slow it down by freezing it, but that's not exactly a reliable strategy when the power's out. Stockpiling bags of whole wheat flour for the long haul is just setting your money on fire. When you finally need it, you'll open it up to a bitter taste and a smell that's just off. The solution here is a two-parter. First, the easy way. Just stockpile all-purpose white flour instead. With the oils gone, white flour is way more stable. Packaged properly for long-term storage, it can last for 10-15 years. The second, and frankly better solution for true long-term preparedness, is to store whole wheat berries. The raw, unprocessed kernels. In this form, with the oils protected inside that hard kernel, wheat berries can last for 30 years or more. You'll need a good grain mill to grind them into fresh flour as you need it, but this gives you the best of both worlds. Maximum nutrition and extreme shelf life. Section 3. Most cooking oils. Number 3 is a silent killer of food preps, Liquid cooking oils. Take a look in any prepper pantry, and you'll find bottles of vegetable oil, canola, sunflower, or olive oil. You need fat to cook, but these common oils are some of the least shelf-stable things you can own. Here's why. Most of these oils are polyunsaturated fats. That chemical structure makes them oxidize and go rancid very easily when exposed to heat, light, and air. A rancid oil doesn't just ruin your food with a crayon-like taste, it's also filled with harmful free radicals. Unopened, most of these oils have a best-by date of only a year or two. Once you open them, that window shrinks to just a few months. So what's the answer? You need to think in terms of saturated fats, which are much more stable. Your best bet is coconut oil. Because it's solid at room temperature and highly saturated, it resists oxidation. Unopened virgin coconut oil can last up to 5 years under good conditions, while refined coconut oil is good for about 2. Another fantastic choice is ghee, or clarified butter. All the milk solids and water have been removed, leaving pure butterfat that's incredibly shelf-stable for years without refrigeration. And finally, you have good old-fashioned vegetable shortening in a can. It's not a health food, but it's engineered for stability and will last for many years unopened. Section 4. Nuts and seeds. At number 4, we have a real heartbreaker. Nuts and seeds. These guys are nutritional powerhouses, loaded with protein, healthy fats, and calories. Almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds. They seem like the perfect survival food. But their best quality, that high-fat content, is also their biggest weakness. Those healthy oils are very quick to turn rancid. In their original packaging, you're looking at a shelf life of maybe 6 to 9 months before they start to taste like paint thinner. Some are worse than others, but none of them are truly long-term foods without some serious work. Sure, you can freeze them, but that depends on a grid you might not have. The last thing you want is to count on a bag of walnuts for life-saving calories, only to find they've gone completely bad. So, how do you get that nutty goodness in your preps? Simple. Treat nuts as a short-term rotational item, not a store-it-and-forget-it food. Buy what you eat and rotate through your stock every 6 months or so. You can buy commercially canned nuts, which are sealed without oxygen, to get a year or 2 of shelf life, but that's about it. The only real long-term solution is to grow your own. If you have the space, a few nut trees can be a sustainable food source for generations. Section 5. Granola and oily crackers. Halfway through, at number 5, we have a category that fools a lot of people. Granola, granola bars, and oily crackers. They seem like the perfect, no-fuss, grab-and-go emergency food. But if you've been paying attention, you already know the problem. Granola is made from rolled oats, nuts, seeds, and oils, a greatest hits list of things that go rancid. That combination makes granola a ticking time bomb. Most store-bought granola is only good for about 6 months. The same goes for many crackers. Your basic saltine cracker is pretty stable and can last for a couple of years. But the fancy crackers, the ones made with whole grains or coated in cheese and oils, will spoil much, much faster. The fats go bad, and you're left with a stale, bitter-tasting waste of money. You can count on those for about 6 months. The solution is to store the building blocks instead. Rather than stockpiling granola, store its long-lasting components separately. Properly packaged rolled oats, honey, and dehydrated fruit. You can make fresh granola whenever you want. For crackers, stick to the basics. Plain saltines are a reliable option. Keep the fancy, oily ones in your daily pantry, not your deep storage. Hey, if you're finding this useful and I've already saved you from a costly mistake, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you want more no-nonsense prepper advice to make sure you're truly ready for anything, make sure you subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Now, let's get back to the list. Section 6. Natural peanut butter. Number 6 is a specific one, but it's important. Natural peanut butter. Peanut butter is a prepper classic, full of protein and calories. But not all peanut butter is created equal for storage. The kind to avoid for your long-term pantry is natural peanut butter. The stuff where the only ingredients are peanuts and maybe salt. You know the kind, where you open the jar and see a layer of oil sitting on top? That separation is a giant red flag. It means the oil isn't stabilized, and just like cooking oil, it will go rancid. Natural peanut butter usually has a shelf life of less than a year. The solution is to go for conventional processed peanut butter. Brands like Jif or Skippy add stabilizers that stop the oil from separating. This massively increases the shelf life, keeping it from going rancid for 2 to 5 years, unopened, on your pantry shelf. An even better option for the deep pantry is powdered peanut butter. This product has had most of the unstable oils pressed out, leaving a dehydrated powder. With the oils gone, powdered peanut butter can last for 10 years or more when stored correctly. Just add water to make a spread or throw the powder into oatmeal for a protein kick. Section 7. Ground spices. Coming in at number 7 is something that won't make you sick, but it will absolutely waste your money and ruin your meals. Ground spices. We all know food fatigue is a real danger in a long-term crisis. Spices are what make bland staples like rice and beans enjoyable day after day. But here's the problem. The moment you grind a spice, you massively increase its surface area. This exposes all its volatile oils to air, and they begin to break down immediately. A jar of ground cumin or cinnamon isn't going to hurt you, but it will lose almost all its flavor and aroma in as little as 6 months to a year. Those giant budget-sized containers of spices are a terrible investment for your preps. So, what's a prepper to do for flavor? Store your spices whole. Whole peppercorns, cinnamon sticks, whole nutmeg, and cumin seeds will last for years while keeping all their flavor locked inside their hard outer shells. Invest in a simple manual spice grinder or a mortar and pestle. When it's time to cook, you just grind a small amount for a burst of fresh, potent flavor. It's a huge morale booster. And don't forget the king of all spices, salt. Properly stored, salt has an indefinite shelf life and is critical for both flavor and food preservation. Section 8. High-sodium canned soups. For number 8, we have a staple of almost every home in America. High-sodium canned soups. They're convenient, they're easy, and they seem like a perfect emergency meal. But while canned goods are generally great for preppers, relying on these soups is a big mistake. First, and most importantly, is the water issue. In a crisis, clean drinking water will be a precious, rationed resource. Many canned soups are loaded with sodium, sometimes over half your daily intake in one can. A high-sodium diet forces your body to use up more of its water to process the salt. You're essentially packing dehydration into a can. Second, the quality of complex foods like soup just doesn't hold up over time. After a few years, the textures get mushy, the flavors turn metallic, and the nutritional value drops. The smarter solution is to stock the individual components. Store low-sodium broths, canned meats like chicken and beef, and single-ingredient canned veggies like carrots and corn. You can also store bouillon cubes or powder, which last forever and let you control the salt content. This approach gives you way more flexibility, better nutrition, and it doesn't put a dangerous strain on your critical water supply. Section 9. Rolled oats. Last on our list at number 9 is another breakfast favorite, rolled oats, especially the kind sold in those cardboard tubes. Oats are a fantastic food, but the way most people store them is deeply flawed. Like other grains we've talked about, oats contain natural oils. The process of rolling them flat cracks the grain and exposes those oils to air, which starts the clock on rancidity. In their standard cardboard packaging, rolled oats are only good for about 1 to 2 years before they can start to taste stale or go bad. That's not terrible, but it's not great for a set-it-and-forget-it food supply. So here's the trick. Don't leave them in the cardboard tube. If you transfer those same rolled oats into Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, you protect them from air and moisture. Doing that can stretch their shelf life from 2 years to potentially 10, 20, or even 30 years. The most reliable option is still storing the whole, unprocessed oat groats, which can last for decades. But properly packaging your rolled oats is a fantastic and easy upgrade. So there you have it, 9 popular prepper foods that might be sabotaging your pantry and wasting your money. The common enemy in almost all of these is oil. Fat goes rancid, and any food with a high unprotected oil content is a bad bet for the long haul. To recap, we're swapping brown rice for white rice, whole wheat flour for white flour or wheat berries, unstable oils for stable fats like virgin coconut oil and ghee, and ground spices for whole spices. A key principle in preparedness is building a reliable system. That means understanding the science of food storage and making smart choices, not just following what's popular. And now for the golden rule, one you've heard before but is worth repeating. Store what you eat and eat what you store. The best way to keep your food from ever going bad is to actively rotate it. Use the first in, first out method. This ensures your supply is always fresh and you never have to throw away your investment. What's the biggest food storage mistake you've ever made? We've all made them. Let's learn from each other in the comments below. Sharing our blunders is one of the best ways we can all become better prepared. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future guides. Stay safe and stay prepared.